before we start defining the different patterns used in DDD, we are going to introduce you a simple domain with some specific requirements and a domain model draft. The idea is to use that to help us to define an initial ubiquitous language that finally we are going to use to drive the solution and explain the different patterns. The domain we are going to use is a simple e-commerce application. Yes, the classic e-commerce application with products, shopping carts, and purchase orders. The domain example is taken from Sam Kaptaskin's series of blogs. In these blogs, Sam uses this domain to explain DDD. There you can check the entire list of requirements and a detailed explanation of a solution written in C#. As a note, we are going to use the domain proposed by Sam Kaptaskin in his blog, but we are going to create a new solution totally written in Java. Just to be clear with the expectations about this module, we are not going to implement the Java solution during the different videos of this module. Instead, we are going to show you some pieces of code to explain the different building blocks concepts. Those pieces of code are going to be taken from the Java sources that we are going to share with you in the corporate Git repository. So let's start. First, I'm going to show you the list of requirements that we are going to use as a base to define our initial domain model and ubiquitous language. Here is the list. Pause the video and take a look to all of them. As you can see, we have a short set of requirements. We have some specific needs, but in general, we need to put products in a cart, see total costs with taxes, and finally check out those products to send them to the customer. Now let's put together all the requirements to create our first domain model draft. We are going to include here the main domain concepts and how they are related. This is just one of the domain models we could have created. There are many valid initial domain models. Pause the video and take a look into the diagram. Remember, this is part of our ubiquitous language. As I just told you, this is part of our ubiquitous language. But what this means? Okay, this means that all the concepts and relationships we have in the diagram need to be used and should be understood the same way by everyone in the team. This includes the domain experts, the main stakeholders, and of course the development team. Perfect. Now let's include to our initial domain model some actions or verbs that we can detect on the initial requirements. Again, pause the video and take a look into the diagram. Remember, this is part of our ubiquitous language. With those actions, we have completed our initial ubiquitous language. As we did it with the concepts and relationships, we also need that everyone in the team knows and understands those actions in the same way. Now, the task is to apply the different tactical design patterns and use the ubiquitous language in the code. We are going to see how to make that possible in the next videos.